Barca family, your boy Pedro here as always, and we're just days away from kicking off the preseason. Get ready because Hansi Flick's second year is about to begin, but now without some unexpected turns and a fresh look at the tactical board. Today we're diving deep into Hansi Flick's evolving attack and plans after the recent Nico Williams saga. We'll break down the hunt for our wingers, which is Luis Diaz and Marcus Rashford, and we'll introduce you to Ronnie Bargi, our new exciting talent for the future. Plus, we'll discuss Lamine Yamal's Ballon d'Or chances tied up to this Club World Cup. This is essential info that every culé should know, so let's dive right into it. The wait is almost over with just about 7 days. On Sunday, July 13th, the first team will report to Ciudad Deportiva for the usual medical test after a well-deserved vacation. 24 hours later, so on Monday, July 14th, Hansi Flick will lead a double session, officially kicking off his second season at the helm of the Blaugrana bench. Despite the constant buzz of the transfer market, new arrivals, some departures, and some frustrated signing, the truth is that the spirits are soaring at the Spotting Fam Camp No offices. Flick's squad is returning to action and hungry for more, especially after securing the domestic treble last season and bringing the club back to Europe elite teams. Even if our Champions League adventure ended up in a still painful, very painful defeat in the semifinals. During the first week of the summer, the potential arrival of Nico Williams actually alters Flick's idea for the team, despite how they worked last season. The plan was designed to set up and exploit the left wing with the new incorporation, with Nico Williams on the left, Lamine Yamal on the right, and Rafinha floating around as an attacking midfielder to exploit some spaces. This decision will have put Dani Olmo in the starting spot in question, and Lewandowski's minutes also in question, with Dani Olmo playing on the false nine like we know he can. But the surprising, crazy turn of events of Nico Williams, who resigned until 2035 with Athletic Bilbao, completely changed the script just days before we returned to work. The club was counting on the player's commitment, and this was a little bit of a setback. Flick must now revert to the structure that worked well last season, which Lewandowski being the central striker, Rafinha will be on the left wing, almost reclaiming the attacking midfield role, and Fermin Lopez will, playing some roles here and there, providing some firepower from deep. Has he nearly secured a starting spot last season during the title push and some very good matches. The club confidence in the current tactical setup is total, and the system from last season it will be maintained. Dani Olmo is considered to be the player who changes the team's ceiling by the coaching staff, and Lewandowski will most likely be the reference point through his minutes, even though his minutes will be managed, with Ferran Torres providing an impact from the bench, and occasionally Dani Olmo, like I said, has a false nine. Beyond these initial ideas, Flick will start to implement this adjustment for Barca 2.0 on the field on July 27, when the team will be in Asia for the preseason tour. They'll face three teams: Vissel Kobe, FC Seoul, and Daegu FC, which will be the first teams on the first test for these teams. As we continue the hunt of our new winger, and after Nico Williams now out of the picture, the options of Luis Diaz and Marcus Rashford are firm back on the table for our sporting management. The club remains convinced that they need a dynamic winger for the opposite flank to avoid putting all the attacking pressure burden on Lamine Yamal. And of course, some talent from La Masia will get their chance to prove their worth during this preseason. But I want to break down these two main targets that we talked about before. Luis Diaz. He's currently Hansi Flick's and Deco's number one candidate to reinforce the left wing. However, his incorporation presents many difficulties. He's a regular starter in the Premier League champions, and Liverpool is reluctant on parting ways with him. His price could be around 90 million euros, which I think every time we talk about him, his price goes up 5 to 10 millions, which is nearly double what Marcus Rashford might cost. Despite his high price and the challenging negotiation, Diaz has explicitly signaled his desire to join Barcelona. His agent is not asking for any weird mandatory registration clause, showing confidence in the club ability to register him. Diaz is definitely a difference maker, reliable, and provides an immediate high performance. He's also strong in high pressing and defensive support, qualities that Hansi Flick really value. His career trajectory from humble beginnings to top tier mirrors the ones of Rafinha's success story, so it will be great to pair them together. The other player we talked about is Marcus Rashford, who is 27. The Manchester United forward has since his stock rise has a potential of Barca target due to the difficulties with Luis Diaz. We know that his current coach does not want him, and they even stripped the number 10 jersey from him, now given to Mateus Cunha. This opens a potential door for Barcelona that we can use as leverage. Rashford market value is around 50 million, but due to the United's desire to get him out of 15, his price could be lowered to 40 million. He presents a very good opportunity at 27 years old, and crucially, like Luis Diaz, he genuinely wants to play for Barcelona. And he's not using the club to improve his contract elsewhere like someone did. While Rashford has been not very consistent in the past 2 years, he possessed an immense quality and versatility, able to play across all fronts and score goals. Economically, his transfer will be within Barcelona's possibilities. Ultimately, Luis Diaz remains the priority, and Rashford will need to be patient with the Blaugrana as we look to secure the Colombian services. Unlike Nico Williams, both players are not using Barcelona to leverage or better the salaries at the current club. They genuinely want to join Barcelona and want to fight for titles here. More movement are expected these weeks to follow. And with negotiation for these two players resuming, they are the two primary choices to become the second big signing after the goalkeeper Joan Garcia. Also, this week we should see the closing of Ronnie Bargi signing. The 19-year-old is a strong bet from Deco as a future starter. The intention for him is to split time between the A team and the B team, with his role depending on how the transfer market progresses. What's clear is that he'll do the preseason with the first team, so Hansi Flick and Deco can see him in action during training and the matches in Asia. And if he truly impresses, he can earn a spot in the first team. While there's a possibility of him staying or going in alone or staying alone on his club, FC Copenhagen, Barca now prioritizes seeing him in action with the younger players from the reserve team and the youth team who will be going to Korea and Japan. Bargi is coming off a serious knee injury, and the clubs believe that after a long period of inactivity that ended in March, he can now accept that in his first season of Blaugrana, he might alternate between the first team and B team, even though the B team is in the third Spanish division after last year's relegation. Playing for the B team will also bring a demand of achieving a promotion, which is a great stimulus. Furthermore, if the B team proves too small for the talent, he can always complement the first team as long as he can maintain his level in the reserve team. Depending on how the summer market evolves, Bargi might even become one of the complements of the right wing behind Lamine Yamal, especially considering Ferran Torres increasingly seen as a number 9. What's clear is that the Swedish forward is fulfilling his childhood dream of wearing the Blaugrana colors, and now he wants to demonstrate and show his quality and the reputation that he has. Let's keep an eye on him. Hopefully he can do a very good Asia tour. So let's keep an eye on Rooney Bargi. Hopefully he can do good. I mean, the only downside is that he got hurt last year. He only played like a handful of matches. So let's just keep an eye on this. I'll go ahead and analyze this and give you some more updates regards of his playing time and his opportunity here at Barcelona. Now, finally, let's touch upon the Club World Cup and the impact on the Ballon d'Or race. This tournament has a lot of stakes. Obviously, a great deal amount of money, the glory of being the first champions on this new format, and the Ballon d'Or still hangs on the balance, with this being the final matches that can count to the prestigious award. Before the tournament started here in the US, there were two big favorites, Lamine Yamal and Ousmane Dembélé. Although Vitinha has made a case for himself after winning the Nation League precisely against Lamine Yamal Spain. In Madrid, some speculate that Mbappe could join the discussion if he had a spectacular Club World Cup, but some health issues kept him out of the first matches, and he only scored his first goal of the quarterfinals against Borussia Dortmund. Even though the Frenchman is still in the tournament, it seems very difficult for him to truly enter the fight for the award. A fascinating and almost paradoxical situation has emerged. Mbappe and Real Madrid could actually do Lamine Yamal a huge favor in the semifinals against PSG. It is evident that if the Parisians wins the tournament, the Ballon d'Or most likely will go to Dembélé. He will accumulate 5 titles this season: the French Cup, Ligue 1, French Super Cup, Champions League, and the Club World Cup. He will only have missed on lifting the Nations League. However, if Real Madrid managed to eliminate PSG, they could leave the Ballon d'Or debate so much more open and give hope for Lamine Yamal. A victory for PSG will, a victory for a retaining rival will serve Lamine Yamal more than a Real Madrid defeat. So hopefully Madrid can beat PSG, pretty much. So both players have an excellent season, Ousmane Dembélé and Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal has commanded the FC Barcelona that came to an agonizing close, very close to the Champions League final. And also, they were on the final for the national team, but fell short on the Nations League final. Despite these two disappointments, the domestic treble achievement and his magnificent display on the field, making one of the top candidates for the award at just 17 years old. Dembélé, for his part, has scored so many goals and looks very comfortable in his new position as forward. With Luis Enrique, he's found a definite version in which made history with PSG. His only negative notes are the Nations League, where he didn't play well against Spain and was eliminated in the semifinals. And this tournament, the Club World Cup, performance so far wasn't great. Like Mbappe, Dembélé missed the first matches due to an injury he suffered in the Nations League, which add a layer to this narrative. So with all these updates, it's an electrifying time to be a Barcelona fan. This preseason is knocking, bringing Hansi Flick's refined tactical vision, the immense pursuit for a new star winger, and the exciting prospect of a young talent breaking through. Plus, there is an ongoing drama for the Ballon d'Or that could see Lamine Yamal's chances open up, making it wider for this unexpected result. I want to know, what are your thoughts on Flick's strategic season for next year? Who do you think should be the new Barcelona winger, Luis Diaz or Marcus Rashford? Or if you have another name, please throw it in the comments. And can Lamine Yamal truly snatch the Ballon d'Or? Please let me know your opinions in the comment below. And for all breaking news, in-depth analysis, and behind-the-scenes updates as Barcelona season kicks off pretty soon, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss a single update. You can always find me here, or you can find me on Instagram under my childhood nickname Urrutia. Until next time, and Visca Barça!